Let us understand the role of Spark Metastore or Hive Metastore. We need to first understand details related to metadata generated for Spark Metastore tables. Not only tables but also databases, views, etc. generates metadata, but tables are the most commonly used ones. When we create a Spark Metastore table, there is metadata associated with it. The metadata includes table name, column names and data types, location, file format, and more. We can get this metadata whenever we run commands such as describe or describe formatted, etc. The metadata has to be stored somewhere so that query engines such as Spark SQL work without any issues. Let us understand where this metadata is stored. This information is typically stored in relational database and it is called as metastore. As part of our labs, we have configured MySQL to store this metadata. There will be a bunch of tables which will have metadata, and it is a normalized data model. You will have tables with primary keys which will act as parent tables. You will have child tables pointing to those parent tables, so on and so forth. This metastore is extensively used by engines such as Hive, Spark SQL for syntax and semantics check as well as execution of queries. This is the most important part, syntax and semantics check. So whenever we write a query, it has to follow a syntax and also it has to evaluate against the existing tables, columns, etc. So as part of the syntax and semantics check where it will validate whether the table name is correct or column names are correct or not, there this metadata will come handy, or the metastore which contains this metadata comes handy. In our case, the metadata is stored in a MySQL database. It is called as metastore only. Let us review the details by going through relevant properties so that you understand how you can actually get the information related to metastore. You can either use Ambari or you can use command line. I will first walk you through with Ambari, then I will walk you through with command line. So you can connect to the Ambari and then you can actually go to Hive. Then you can go to configs. As part of the configs, you should be able to see the properties related to metastore. It contains the JDBC URL where the metastore is running, or MySQL database which contains that metastore is running, and also it will have connection information such as username, password, etc. Now you can actually search for metastore in advanced. You see here the property name for the host. There is no direct property for that. It will just extract the information from JDBC URL. The properties are hive.db.schema name. This is also generated by Ambari. The actual properties are a bit different. This is one of the valid property, javax.jdo option connection driver name. Similarly, javax.jdo.option.connection URL. Again, this is generated by Ambari. Ambari reads the properties files and present it in a bit readable format. The actual properties are JDBC driver class, database URL, username, etc. That being said, we can also access this information from command line. For that, you have to connect to the gateway node of the cluster. Typically, the properties will be under etc hive conf. In our case, Spark and Hive are tightly integrated, and hence Spark Metastore uses Hive Metastore. That's why we are going to etc Hive conf. In some cases, there might not be Hive, there might be only Spark. The location for the Hive Metastore can be different. That being said, now I can open this hivesite.xml file, and then we should be able to search for JDO. You can see there is a JDO option connection driver name, which contain value as com MySQL JDBC driver, then connection URL which contain the JDBC MySQL and then the host on which metastore is running, or MySQL database in which metastore is created is running, and then database name which is nothing but metastore, then the property related to username, JDO option connection username, and that's it. The password will not be made available as part of the hivesite.xml. It will be hidden somewhere. So this is how you can actually review the properties related to metastore so that you get an idea. If you have access to the database, you can connect to the MySQL database or Postgres database using which the metastore is set up, and you should be actually go to the data model also. We don't need to get into such level of details at this time, and hence I am passing it on. For now, just remember that a metastore is nothing but a database setup using traditional RDBMS, and it contains metadata that is generated when we create tables, add columns, add partitions, and so forth.